I think it's pretty safe to say that the future of the Star Wars franchise seems to be quite expansive, not just with their books, novels, comics, and video games, but also let's not forget about their new live-action and animated Star Wars TV series to arrive on Disney+, as well as their fourth Star Wars trilogy of films, also known as the new Star Wars trilogy. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that we do know is that behind the scenes, many changes are in fact being applied over at Lucasfilm. A lot of new creatives are getting hired by Bob Chaypek. A lot of other creators are getting promoted, like Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and even including George Lucas, the man himself who made Star Wars happen, being involved with this new universe. Now, the thing about all of this is that we also know that everything related to Disney Plus is that this streaming service already has over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects in the works. Now let that sink in for a second there. When you think about it like that, that really just shows how ambitious Disney really is and how they really want to make things right with the fans. They really want to create a library's worth of Star Wars material on Disney Plus, separate from the actual Star Wars movies, which by the way are going to be another big focus. I myself, I would much rather to see Star Wars material in the theater rather than at home. It's just something that I enjoy more so. You're going out, you're experiencing it with other people, you're getting their reactions, it's seen on a big screen. There's a big advantage to seeing it in the theaters. So, with that being said, what's really intriguing all has to do with Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy. Now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are both currently focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films, as well as their new Star Wars universe. It's explained that both Bob Iger and Bob Chaypek are currently developing multiple plans in order to reunite the Star Wars fans around the world. It's explained that behind the scenes, major changes are coming to the Star Wars franchise by Disney CEO Bob Chaypek, including a plan for Chaypek to fire Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy. It's described that Chaypek plans to let go of Kathleen Kennedy sometime in the very beginning of 2021, where it will be initiated sometime in late 2020 this year. It's said that by contract, Chaypek needs to wait it out until Kennedy's plans are able to move forward and be complete with the Leslie Headland Star Wars TV series, as well as the untitled animated TV show, for her plans with those two TV shows to become concrete. This is described to be finished by the fall of this year, just before Chaypek will be given the go-ahead to let go of Kathleen Kennedy. Chaypek plans for George Lucas to take over Lucasfilm temporarily in the very beginning of 2021 to handle the business end of Star Wars and to also alter the roadmap of the Star Wars franchise and more. Kathleen Kennedy's previous projects are already being cancelled one by one by Bob Chaypek in order to focus on the new projects by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and George Lucas, and that Chaypek has the permanent solution on the top of his list already to take over Kennedy after George's temporary placement. So here's the thing about Bob Chaypek. This is obviously a big way, probably one of the best ways to create his own legacy and to really gain the trust of many fans out there. When you think about a Disney CEO, you want to look up to that CEO, and I think that this is probably the best avenue to go about doing so. Now, Kathleen Kennedy, there's no denying it. She really was very incompetent at her job as president of Lucasfilm. We've seen a great example of this with The Last Jedi, Solo: A Star Wars Story, and yes, even The Rise of Skywalker. Those are the three main movies that I believe personally she failed on. Because, well, with The Last Jedi, it was allowing Rian Johnson to do as he pleased. With Solo, it was firing the original directors and hiring Ron Howard. By the way, I love Ron Howard, but I'm just saying, that cost a lot of money. And doing those reshoots, 80% of reshoots for Solo, and that led to the cancellation of 10 Star Wars movies over the new decade. That was a big hit on Disney. And not just that, but also the reshoots and the rewrites for The Rise of Skywalker and excluding Anakin from the film. All of these were the big mistakes by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, of course, Rogue One: A Star Wars Story had some reshoots here and there by Kathleen Kennedy, which it wasn't as major, it wasn't as much of a big deal. Mind you that yes, she did take out a lot of Darth Vader scenes. We could have had more Vader. But I think I was pretty much satisfied for the most part of what we got in Rogue One, those two major Vader scenes. Now, looking ahead, obviously, I think that George, John, and Dave are going to do an excellent job without Kathleen Kennedy entirely. Thankfully, for now, her creative input is gone, except for those 2 TV shows, and they have to be made concrete when it comes to the planning stages before Chaypek is allowed to actually give her the boot. So, I think that we really are on a route here to Star Wars success, where Disney's going to have great success with Star Wars. You're going to see these great movies, these great TV shows, and everything coming about on Disney Plus and more. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.